Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
So this is Pogo's daughter. Just like her mother, she's a no-nonsense lancehead, common lancehead. She, I think, is now like 2 years old. I'd have to look in the records and see when she was born, but she's doing quite nicely. And above her is this new red-spotted pit viper, a female I acquired to go with the male that's in the cage on the other side of the room. The male was born here in like 2007, 2008. Yep, there she goes, she hammered it. She's doing quite well, and unfortunately, she's not out and about. A lot of times she'll be sitting under the bush in the rear corner, but unfortunately not today. So as we were out here doing other snake-related things, Miss Red Spot has come out to dine. Hello. And, you know, she does not have the adult coloration yet. The adult coloration is sort of a greenish yellow, and with, you know, red spots. But she's a Protobothrops gerardoni xanthomelis. And this is a very lovely species of pit vipers from Asia, also known as the Asian lanceheads. So we'll just let her do her thing and not disturb her. But I wanted you to have the opportunity to see what we fed, because the strike was so quick and then she disappeared. Okay, it's time to feed the Angolan garter snakes. Hi, dude, or dudette. I forget which one you are. Hello. I bring you food. And there we go. These are very shy fossorial snakes. Spend a lot of time underneath substrate. You know, we've tried many different water dishes, but this snake always seems to fill it with substrate.
And dump out all the water.
Yes, all the water goes out into it. But these are lapids, just like Elvis over there, and just like Thud, front fixed fangs, generally neurotoxic venom. There's not a lot known about the venom of this particular species because they don't really factor in a lot of bites, so there's no antivenom. Their venom is probably somewhat prey specific, but we never underestimate the power of venom. You know, I got nipped by a coral cobra, and there's not often reports of any systemic reactions to that. All I had was a very sore finger from the cytotoxins. Another guy here in Pennsylvania got bit by one, spent 3 days in intensive care unit with full-blown neurotoxicity. The South African polyvalent is reported to work, but this wasn't, found out on his particular case. This was a scientific study in South Africa where Coral Club Brazar, and where the garter snakes are, which is the genus Elapsoidea. There's a whole plethora of different genuses, and they're all pretty beautiful, very cute little fun snakes to work with. So this one, as I said, is very shy. It's covering its eyes with its tail, so we'll close this so it can get the junk off of its face and enjoy its little rodent there. Okay, so the other one. Oh, hello. Maybe it's thirsty. Well, so what we should do is offer it something to eat. Now, this one usually is hiding under, and the flattening of its body is just your typical stance to defend itself. So what we'll do is we'll try not to upset it too much, but I want it to know that food is at hand. So what we'll do is we'll close this so it doesn't freak out. We'll come back a little later and check if it's eaten its gecko. We'll add some water to the water dish, and we'll come back later and do the water dish in the other Angolan garter snake's cage. These are another lair favorite, although we won't see her, much of her, and I won't disturb her. The head's back here. I can see 2 eyes. Generally, I leave food and it's gone later. This is a very large female. I am not going to disturb her because the other 3 specimens I think you'll be able to see. And we're going to move on to them. Hi, we got that cute little face peering out of the sand. These are Sahara sand vipers, also known as the Abyssinia viper. Cerastes vipera. They're little landmines that people find in the desert area. They have a rather potent nephrotoxin in their venom, which wreaks havoc in your kidneys, which is not a good thing because your kidneys are rather important to your well-being, and children in the Middle East that get bit by these, it's a serious problem, and there's anti-venom for them. Relatively small, easy to deal with snakes. They saw scale just like saw scale vipers, because that's sort of a desert warning system for snakes that live there. They don't want to be hissing and have their mouth open too much because they lose water that way. So they figured out a way of inflating their rough scales and rubbing them together to make a warning sound. Just sort of like rattlesnakes will have their rattle on their tail and make noise to warn you to stay the hell away. Well, these guys, along with the saw scales, rub their scales together and make a sizzling noise to get your attention, so you leave them alone. So we'll let this girl finish off what she has. Oh, there's a little boy. He's like, surface for food.
I'm ready. These are also the snakes that will do that very cute hula to get back buried under the sand when they're disturbed.
I call it the hoochie coochie dance. Good. You interested in that?
Or are you scared of the big old camera?
Alright, so I'm going to leave it there. We got that guy to blow out of the sand and strike and grab the food, so that was good enough for the camera. Last one up to this one who's right up here Are you interested in food? Oh my goodness. I believe so. Okay, I'm gonna drag it back here to my hotspot and eat that. Normally I feed these guys every other week, but I had 4 leftovers, so I figured I'd just offer it to these guys. Tomorrow probably, after they get this down and are calm, I'll sift the sand and get the poop and urate out, and they'll be good to go for another week or 2. Is that tasty, huh? So Mr. Kazakhanov is, as usual, looking for a feed, so we will oblige him. He's an entertaining creature. He definitely is very, very happy to get stuff to eat, but he's not going to get much larger, so I don't want to overfeed him. Come on, it's right there. Now, he does have this tendency to come out. Don't swan dive. Your food is in there. No, don't look me in the eye. Your food is in your cage. These are very cool little vipers from Eastern Europe. They're related to the British adder. Vipera is a very diverse genus of all sorts of different viperids, old world viperids from Europe. Their venom can knock you on the ass, but a lot of them really can't, kill you, but they'll make you miserable for quite some time. There is, anti-venom for them. They are medically significant. They're sort of really nice little group of snakes to keep. You don't see them very often here in the U.S. because, most keepers are just, I want a monocle cobra type idiot, and and don't really try to, when these are imported, very few people buy them. They're a very cool species. I like them a lot. Mrs. Viperkeeper likes them a lot. They can be very entertaining, as this guy is. So, what can I say? You can't account for people's taste. Very lovely snake. Nice attitude, very eager to eat, even though he's a male, which is all really good stuff. So, come on, dude. Let's put you back in there and you can find your morsel. You're going to be a little bit... Watch my hand, I see you. No launching. There's your food right under your snoot. Wait. I need more of a close-up, Mr. DeVille. Not without glass. There you go. We'll give you some water later. Once we leave, he'll settle down and decide that food's there and it's dead and I'm gonna eat it. But right now, like most snakes, he's very distracted. One of the Protobothrops cornutus, the Fansong pit viper from Vietnam, was having some really bad sheds, although we've got a misting system. And so we cannulate. It was having trouble feeding on anything because its throat was constricted because of the dried shed. So I cannula fed it some Pedialyte and baby food, just like I do with the Ocellatus. We put her in a bin with a moist paper towel. We spritzed her down every day, and lo and behold, we have a very nice looking Fansong pit viper now. Not particularly happy with me because I put it I took it out of its cage and put it in intensive care. As you can see, things are quite messy in there, but we're gonna hook her out and put her back in her cage. A rather long, lanky viper, huh? And yes, that is female. So we're gonna put her back in her cage and allow her to get back in the swing of things, and then offer her something to eat. That's one of those nice cases where everything worked out well. Here's a very nice shedding. Very nice pattern on it. I'm not going to keep it because it's a little poopy, but very nice shed. It was all, see this area, it was all constricted. She couldn't eat, and that's a problem. So we'll take this bin and clean it up and recycle it for the next critter. We have to be careful with this Querulus pyrrhus, who is now over 3 years old and getting some length but not some size. Took ages of force feeding and, you know, lots of patience, and many times I thought I was going to lose this guy, but he survived and hung in there, and I wouldn't call him bulletproof at this point, but I would call him bullet resistant. So we'll let him chow down. So here's the Russell's vipers. They're getting quite large, and these guys always are good feeders. Seldom a problem. And the lighting is not that great, but these are quite spectacular if they're properly lit. And they're really, really venomous. Not a snake that you want to get bitten by. And because, well, yesterday was the Snake Bite Awareness Day worldwide, Ekis, oh, you decided that running wasn't in your best interest there. Ekis and Russell's viper, Daboya, kill the most people and kill and injure the most people on the planet, hands down. No other snakes really rack the numbers up. They're all rank amateurs compared to the Ekis and the Daboya. Just really, really bad venom that just messes your blood up, and you usually die from bleeding out or having a brain bleed. So this is not the sort of venom you want under your skin. Hello, would you like something? As you can see, they're all very enthusiastic feeders. Some are bigger than others. These haven't been the easiest things to get going, but they're doing pretty well. Hello, would you like this? Huh? Oh, miss, oh, we're too exuberant. Very, very energetic biters. I've seen video of idiots free-handling these things. I mean, there's snakes in the collection, and snakes I know of where you might be able to get away from free handling. I don't see how it's possible to survive picking one of these up and not getting bit. And like I said, these kill people quite readily, and people are risking that. Alright, so this is a rare snake. It's not commonly found in the US. It's the jararaca from Brazil. These things are the majority of the biters in Brazil, along with the Brazilian lancehead. The jararacas are bad customers. Here's the male. Female is up there. Both have already fed today, and I'm just watering them carefully because anything Bothrops is very volatile and can easily go shooting around the room. Very, very venomous pit viper from Brazil. Oh, that's a nice warm set of fingers there, Mr. Viperkeeper. I want to inspect them. Okay, so we'll give the female some water. I see there's a shedding in there, but I'm not going to disturb her. I just sort of have to get the watering done. As Mrs. Viperkeeper pointed out earlier, it looks like Pogo left me a present in the track of the glass, so I'm not going to play that game right now. And down here we have the male Bothrops asper, the Tersicapello, and because of his position in the water dish, it makes it very difficult to safely do that, but he's a very shy guy actually, and doesn't really give me much trouble.